Alright, so heads up before I start talking about this game. If you are remotely prone to motion sickness, you should minimize the tab and listen to this as if it's a podcast. I'm typically really good about cameras in games weaving like they're drunk, but Monster Trux Arenas somehow made me queasy while I was editing this video. Alright, we're good? We're good. So, once upon a time, and by that I mean last Saturday, I was walking around a thrift store looking for, honestly, anything that would have been interesting. But, because the planets decided to line up and the universe told me do it, you know you want to, I found a bunch of Data Design Interactive Wii games. Not quite their complete collection, but a lot more than I thought I'd find by this point in life. And if you've never heard of Data Design Interactive, they were one of the most notorious shovelware developers for the Wii, quickly churning out reskins in their one engine to make as many titles as possible, rather than making any of them good. You know, kinda like this channel. And here is Monster Trux Arenas Special Edition, a game that can be considered as a downgrade in every way to Bigfoot Collision Course. And yes, I mean the DS one. I thought that Bigfoot Collision Course was alright when I reviewed it, but Data Design Interactive's masterpiece? Well, I don't know what they considered so special about the Special Edition, but that's the only edition that came out. And here's a full list of things I felt that this game failed on. Controls, frame rate, graphics, variety, music, gameplay. I can't really say that this game feels unfinished because it is finished, sort of, but it fails on every aspect. Let's start with the music. What you've been hearing so far isn't actually the soundtrack to this game. Here's what it actually sounds like. Monster Trux Arenas has a total of 4 songs, and all of them are annoying in their own special way. They're not terrible, but they're so generic I'd rather replace them with anything else. Except for that. No Crazy Frog. Back to the game, the only credit I can give is that the main menu explains the mechanics in more detail than it had any right to. It's great that it lets me know that going off a ramp means that I'll go off a ramp, but I'm not stupid. I knew what I was trying to do. I was trying to go off a ramp. I was trying to steer this stupid monster truck, but the controls feel like piloting a drunken brick. You move left and right by tilting the Wii remote, which would be okay if it wasn't imprecise. You move forward by hitting the 2 button, back by hitting the 1. These 2 icons are misaligned and... Wait a second. If I look at the manual, the manual says that the controls are backwards, that to accelerate you have to hit the 1 button, and to brake you gotta hit the 2 button. Yeah, great job guys, you couldn't even get the controls right. Oh, but if I look at the French version, which, yeah, because I have the Canadian edition, it comes with 2 manuals. It has the right controls there, but not in this English one? Why? They didn't even proofread the manual before they sent it off to get printed. Oh, come on. I knew that the controls were imprecise, but at least write them down properly. Alright, so Monster Trux Arenas has tournaments that you can clear, which I think if you win a single one, you unlock the next cup and also the new speed class, but that part never gets explained. The cups vary in speed from really boring grind to I'm Jackass and welcome to Drunk, I don't have a seatbelt. And if you collect money that's littered all over the track, getting enough of it unlocks cars, which took me like an hour to do. Except that's actually kind of a misnomer. You collect money, but nothing actually costs money. Items just get unlocked if you happen to have enough of it. Kind of like running a YouTube channel and getting free games from viewers and publishers if you have enough subscribers in a P.O. box. Is it worth it? The P.O. box sure is, but unlocking new cars? I mean, I thought unlocking new cars didn't do anything, but the cars do have their own stats. You'll just never see them or know what's going on. The dump truck feels heavy, the skeleton car is slow until you hit a boost, and this midnight truck is a GG easy to the point where I felt like boosting while driving on the fastest speed class was more trouble than it was worth. Now I'm gonna go back to the controls. You move left and right by tilting the Wii remote accordingly, but the speed at which you turn is based off an unseen handling stat mixed with the speed at which you're going. On the early tracks with the early car, turning was tolerable, but kinda hard to aim precisely. I mean, until I got stuck in a barrel and had to start over, but on the late tracks with Midnight, I basically had to steer back and forth to try and overcorrect myself back to going straight. But if you can manage going in a straight line and avoid the endless pit maneuvers at the start, you can usually just lead the pack, especially if you can pick up nitrous along the way, which is activated by shaking the controller. You know, shake the controller that also acts as your oversensitive steering wheel, so when you activate nitrous, it nearly locks you into whatever slightly wrong direction you're going at this point. If you end up taking damage, your vehicle starts to drive slightly slower and smoke ends up coming out of it, and you can find wrenches to fix it either partially or all the way, but if you completely total your car, there's no real penalty, you just respawned 3 seconds ago. So what's the point of damage then if the worst penalty you can get is being pulled back for a couple seconds? It's not fun, it's just annoying. Let me feel the consequences of my actions, damn it! It's also generally buggy. Now, I don't have the game crash my console or lock up or throw me out of bounds or something like that, but the vehicle physics get really weird when you're going off hills and ramps, and the lap best times aren't calculated properly, so you can end up in situations where an AI has a time where even if it has the best lap time 3 times in a row to the frame, it doesn't add up to the final time that they have. And that's basically Monster Trux Arenas summarized right there. Normally I'd go, okay, that's the game, I'm gonna pad out the rest of the video and either go through the game so you feel like you've played it yourself or tell a story about Monster Trucks or whatever. But I think most people already understand that this isn't a game that they should play, and I've got no stories of Monster Trucks. I never even found Monster Trucks that appealing in the first place. It just so happens that games with them end up on worst games of all time lists. What I do have are some mildly amusing facts about Data Design Interactive. Okay, one mildly amusing fact. When I said that Data Design Interactive reskins their games, I mean it in a bit more of a literal sense than most people think. Now, some people have actually unironically claimed on the internet that Star Wars Battlefront 2 is the same game as Battlefield 4, just because they share the same game engine and that, you know, it's a first-person shooter, things go straight. But this? I don't have the games to check out for myself, but judging by the footage that you're watching, it's pretty obvious that Monster Trux Offroad is the exact same game as Monster Trux Arenas, just with a mini-map and different tracks. And Offroad Extreme is also the exact same game, but at least the cars are different and the environment feels more open. But judging from the footage, if you've played one, you've played them all, and they're all terrible. IGN has only gotten around to reviewing Offroad Extreme and Monster Trux Arenas, and noticed this immediately. They gave them both a 1 out of 10 with some very justified harsh words to choose from. And the worst part is, those games came out for $30, but like with Chicken Shoot, I paid only $2 for this. Do I feel ripped off for how much I paid? Not really. But Monster Trux Arenas isn't a game I'm gonna put in my console again. Although, actually I should have written an asterisk for the $30 bit, because apparently copies of Monster Trux Offroad came free in boxes of cereal back when that was a thing. And to any kids that ended up installing their copy, I'm sorry. You really should have deserved a better game in there. So, my final score, because I nearly forgot that I do those, is worse than the cardboard box. Because I don't see a future where I'm reviewing either of the two reskins. I would have given Monster Trux Arenas some more credit if the controls were tighter, if the music was better, if the visuals were even remotely anything but gray and brown reskins. But it's not. Speaking of the visuals, like, the only interesting thing about the visuals that they advertise their other Action Girls racing game, which is also on the worst Wii games of all time lists, but like, Mario Kart could make driving around in the stadium in a monster truck fun, and you couldn't? That was your only thing that you had to do. Mario Kart does a lot of things. Monster Trux Arenas has nothing going for it, and I feel like I did earlier videos a disservice by being so harsh on them when there was garbage just like this out there. So yeah, don't buy it.